Introduction of video. My dear friends, today I will show you extraordinary photography and videography done by Xiaomi 13 Pro flagship phone. This video is made in 3 parts. This is part 1 of video series. Here I am explaining about hardware specifications and MIUI 14. In second part is about camera specification. Third part is about camera app use. Recently, myself and my 2 friends visited many Mumbai tourist places like Gateway of India, Juhu Beach, Taj Hotel, CST area, Bao Cha Dhaka, Nehru Science Center, Haji Ali, Jahangir Art Gallery. We have clicked many photos and videos of these tourist places. All photos and videos are exceptional, like professional camera. Xiaomi has done good work by launching this Xiaomi 13 Pro phone. Part 1, Hardware and MIUI 14 Xiaomi 13 Pro. Introduction. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is a beautiful glass smartphone with a new camera housing on the back, one that will probably become a signature for the next generation Xiaomi smartphones. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is a curved smartphone with durable panels, a metal frame, and huge square camera housing with Leica branding. It is also waterproof, as we established, but the most memorable thing about the 13 Pro is its glossiness. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is a beautiful smartphone of distinguished build, IP68 rating, ceramic, and it's very pleasant to look at. This phone is launched in March 2023. This phone is having nearly half the cost compared to its competitors, for example, iPhone 14 Pro Max and Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This phone is having exceptional look, for example, attractive square, Leica camera setup, scratch-proof body. Xiaomi's latest Pro model is a fine device, combining fantastic performance with an exceptional camera, great battery life, and a stunning display. In fact, we liked all of it so much. When you look at the feature set, the hardware and the performance it offers, and realize it's going up against the Galaxy S23 Ultras and iPhone 14 Pro Maxes of the world, you get a bit of a different perspective. Compared to Samsung and Apple's top-dollar phones, it's not terribly priced at all. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is taking up the mantle of flagship, promising the best of everything. From display through cameras and outright performance and speed, it's got it all. There's a lot to love here that makes it quite a special device. It's not a small device by any means and has that heft we've become accustomed to seeing on premium flagship models. Everything is pretty standard from a flagship perspective. The front and back both curve towards the edges to help give it a more comfortable feel in the hand than if it was a flat, right-angled device like the iPhone 14 series. You're left with something of a diamond from Xiaomi, which exceeded our expectations from the brand, and that sets the tone going forward. It's a truly wonderful device. There's an awful lot to like about the Xiaomi 13 Pro if your main concern is the quality of the onboard cameras. It's packed with a good range of features, and having 3 50-megapixel sensors, including a 1-inch main one, puts it ahead of most rivals. While the collaboration with Leica seems to have paid off well too. If photographers are willing to look past that, then they can pick up a very good flagship and make a saving. Let's also not forget that you get a high-speed charger in the box, making it even more valuable. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is one of the easiest recommendations we've ever given, despite its horrible grip experience. Beauty has its price, obviously, but please buy yourself a premium case. It delivers on every promise and every important aspect, and it is one of the most beautiful, powerful, and skillful devices we've used. It is jam-packed with cutting-edge smartphone and imaging technology, and it's worth every penny. Unboxing the Xiaomi 13 Pro. The Xiaomi 13 Pro arrives in a thick black box with Xiaomi and Leica logos. Inside, you will find the phone itself, a 120W charger with USB-A port, and a 6A rated cable. Body. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is a shiny smartphone with and an equally curved ceramic back. The frame is made of aluminum, quite thin for the most part, and polished to perfection. It's either silver for the ceramic white model or matching dark gray for the dark gray. The 13 Pro's sleek looks are a double-edged sword. The shiny exterior is both stylish and eye-catchy, and it can distinguish your phone from its flagship peers. Let's explore the aluminum frame. It is quite thin around the longer sides and flat at the top and the bottom. There is nothing on its left side. The volume control and the power lock key are on the right. The top of the Xiaomi 13 Pro has 2 microphones, the IR blaster, and a small speaker outlet. The bottom of the phone accommodates the dual SIM slot, the primary mic, the USB-C port, and the other speaker. The Xiaomi 13 Pro measures 162.9 x 74.6 x 8.4 meters and weighs 229 grams. Rounded edges and a very shiny exterior give the Xiaomi 13 Pro a very polished look. It's wise to invest in a case to stop it from slipping off smooth surfaces. The bio-ceramic back on the Xiaomi 13 Pro looks and feels almost indistinguishable from glass. Despite that, it's got a luxurious finish, and one we've grown to love. Its body does not attract any fingerprints. This bio-ceramic material found more durable than the glass. Understandably, then, it's seen very much as the ultimate high-end material to use in a smartphone, which is exactly what Xiaomi has done with the 13 Pro. IP68 rating and durability. Adding to its durability credentials, Xiaomi has also seen fit to get it certified for water and dust resistance. It's IP68 rated, which is about as good as it gets for a smartphone and means it won't let dust in and can survive being submerged in shallow water for up to 30 minutes. So you can use it in the shower or in the rain, and it'll be just fine. It's been tested to survive depths of 1.5 m for up to 30 minutes. Speakers and amp USB. Just to add to the media experience, the phone also has stereo speakers. One of those is built in just above the top of the display on the front, and the other is placed on the bottom edge of the phone near the USB-C port. Those are boosted by Dolby Atmos support to offer dynamic audio. The Xiaomi 13 Pro has a stereo speaker setup with the 2 pieces placed on its top and bottom sides behind dedicated grills. The top speaker also acts as an earpiece, and that's why it has another front-facing outlet. The top speaker is quieter than the bottom and less bassy, but thanks to the 2 outlets, the Xiaomi 13 Pro delivers balanced audio output. The speakers support Dolby Atmos enhancement, and it's off by default. The sound quality is very good as well. The vocals are great, there is some bass, and the high frequencies are fine too. Using a Dolby Atmos makes a little difference. It improves on the bass, but its vocals aren't as rich. Processor I, RAM, and Wi-Fi. When it comes to performance, the Xiaomi 13 Pro is equipped with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 mobile platform, which ensures fast and efficient performance. It comes in 12 GB RAM with 256 GB storage. The phone runs on MIUI 14, which provides a seamless and user-friendly interface. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 mobile platform, which is both ultra-fast and power-efficient. Then there is the most current Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset with class-leading performance. The Xiaomi 13 Pro has excellent thermal handling and offers great sustained performance and will not become hot no matter what. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is powered by Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 with a 4-nanometer manufacturing process. It has 5 high-performance cores. The new chipset has an octa-core processor with 1 prime core, 4 performance ones, 2 Plus 2, and 3 efficient cores, aka 1 Plus 2 Plus 2 2 Plus 3 configuration. This means the CPU contains 1 by 3.2 GHz Cortex X3 plus 2 by 2.8 GHz, Cortex A715, DEM2 by 2.8 GHz, Cortex A710, DEM3 by 2.0 GHz, Cortex A510 CPU cores. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset comes with Adreno 740 GPU capable of ray tracing. Whether and how that gets used in actual mobile games remains to be seen in the future. The new Gen 2 chipset offers 35% higher performance and 40% improved efficiency in the CPU department over its Gen 1 counterpart, and 25% and 45% performance and efficiency bumps on the GPU side of things. It also has support for new, faster memory technologies, LPDDR5X and UFS 4.0. This is the most advanced processor for Android mobile phones. It is having higher speed and many advanced features. Like the rest of the 13 Pro, the internals promise top-of-the-line performance and deliver. Regardless of the task, Xiaomi's flagship is more than up to it. It launches apps quickly. All the top hardware inside means the feeling is one of responsiveness. We were never left in lagland. We never experienced any noticeable stutter in the user interface or while playing games that require quick reactions. It's smooth, quick, and powers through everything like a champion. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip has offered an excellent performance, especially paired with the latest LPDDR5X RAM and UFS 4.0 storage for really quick read-write speeds. It's even future-proofed as one of the first phones to launch with support for Wi-Fi 7. The Xiaomi 13 Pro comes with 12 GB of LPDDR5X RAM use UFS 4.0 chips. The Xiaomi 13 Pro supports Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.3, NFC, and dual SIM 5G. The Adreno 740 GPU is currently the most powerful mobile GPU. It also packs one of the best smartphone displays, giving even more points to Xiaomi. Battery and charging Xiaomi 13 Pro comes with a 4,120 mAh battery. This capacity is sufficient for one day. This focus on speed is seen in the battery charging technology too, with Xiaomi bundling a 120-watt hypercharge adapter in with the Xiaomi 13 Pro. What that means, incredibly, is that you only need 19 minutes of charging to go from an empty battery to 100% in boost mode. It's pretty staggering and has some real benefits in everyday usage, especially if you often forget to plug your phone in at night. We found that the phone generally lasted a full day with reasonably modest usage, including several photo and video sessions. Even wireless charging is fast. At 50-watt speeds, the wireless charger is about as fast as they come. But you will need to buy Xiaomi's bespoke charging stand to take advantage of those speeds. Wireless charging eliminates the cable typically required to charge mobile phones, cordless appliances, and so on. With a wireless charger, the battery inside any battery-powered appliance can be charged by simply placing the appliance close to a wireless power transmitter or a designated charging station. Also, it supports 10-watt reverse wireless charging. Wireless reverse charging is a feature that allows you to use your phone to charge other devices, such as a smartphone, smartwatch, and smartband that support wireless charging. The Xiaomi 13 Pro also offers improved standby performance, about 300 hours. The phone comes bundled with that charger and an appropriate 6-ampere rated cable. The Xiaomi 13 Pro supports boost charge mode. This feature allows the fastest possible charging at 120 watt, but only when the phone is with its screen turned off as an overheating prevention measure. So, the Xiaomi 13 Pro and its 120-watt power brick are an awesome combination. During the 120-watt fast charging, the phone didn't get hot, just warm. We can also praise the battery life and, of course, the charging speed. Kudos for including the 120W charger in the box, too, as this has become a rare thing lately. This ensures all-day battery life, so you can use your phone without worrying about running out of juice. Xiaomi 13 Pro display. In terms of design, the Xiaomi 13 Pro is a masterpiece that balances profession, elegance, and toughness. It features a curved back and front with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus on the front for a tough and durable screen. The back is made of medical-grade, bio-ceramic material, adding a soft touch to the phone's design. The WQHD Plus Dynamic 120Hz AMOLED display offers incredible detail and super smooth responsiveness for an immersive viewing experience. Xiaomi 13 Pro features a 6.7-inch OLED LTPO 3.0 2K Plus AMOLED curved display. The 6.73-inch LTPO OLED panel is the centerpiece at the front, covered with a slightly curved Gorilla Glass Victus protection sheet. The Xiaomi 13 Pro has a flat LTPO OLED panel with a slightly curved Gorilla Glass Victus protection. There is also support for 240 Hz touch sensing. It offers QHD resolution, adaptive 120 Hz refresh rate. The screen has 1440p resolution, Dolby Vision, and HDR10 Plus support. Its bezels are reasonably thin. The display has 10-bit color depth, which means it can support more than 1 billion colors and will have no color banding even with challenging images compared to 8-bit panels. There is support for DCI P3 color gamut and a promise of great color accuracy. The panel has a small perforation centered around the top. Here, you can spot the 32-megapixel selfie camera. It uses one of those dated quad-Bayer sensors, and its video capturing resolution maxes out at 1080p. There is also an optical fingerprint scanner under the screen, centered around the bottom. It appears to be of the most current generation and is fast and reliable. Its display boasts high resolution, high dynamic range, high refresh rates, high peak brightness, and high touch response. It's got everything. Along with this, there is HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision support. The display top material is Corning Gorilla Glass Victus protection with 8.5 Mohs hardness. Being a modern flagship phone also means you get fast refresh rates, but more than that, adaptive refresh rates. The display can reach a peak of 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate and drop as low as just 1 Hz when required, helping the phone save on battery use when it doesn't need to refresh quickly. With 240 Hz touch response on board as well, the content on screen reacts quickly to interaction. The adaptive refresh rate works as expected. It drops down to 1 Hz when the screen shows static content and can be incredibly dynamic, constantly changing between 10 Hz and 120 Hz with no fixed steps, in games or browsers. The few scenarios where we saw it go for fixed refresh rates, besides 1 Hz for static picture, were 24 Hz for 24 FPS videos, 30 Hz for 30 FPS clips, and 60 Hz for HFR clips and apps, which are incompatible with dynamic refresh rate adjustments. The always-on display uses 30 Hz, and on a couple of occasions, we saw static content display at 10 Hz. As we mentioned, the screen is indeed as dynamic as they can be these days. There is a twist, though. The minimum refresh rate depends on the screen brightness. If the brightness is below 100 nits or so, the refresh rate will be kept at maximum, 60 Hz or 120 Hz, depending on the occasion, and the only time it will drop below these maximums is for specific video FPS, 24 or 30 FPS. On the positive side, the display supports high-frequency 1920 Hz PWM dimming, so it shouldn't bother anyone sensitive to the usual low-frequency PWM brightness control on OLED screens. The display supports up to 120 Hz refresh rate, and there are 2 refresh modes. Custom, choose between 120 Hz or 60 Hz refresh ceilings, and default, automatic switching behavior. Add to that the fact it's got 1200 nits, typical brightness, peaks of up to 1900 nits, support for over 1 billion colors, and support for all the popular HDR formats, Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, and HLG, and you get one of the most dynamic, color-rich, and bright displays around. It's a very strong display, in every measurable way. It's a brilliant display. The Xiaomi 13 Pro display supports DCI P3 wide color space, and it's the default setting. The display color options offer 3 different color models: Vivid, Default, DCI P3, Saturated, DCI P3 with saturation boost, and Original Color, sRGB. You can fine-tune the color. The Vivid Default option reproduces DCI P3 faithfully, and we found it to be fairly accurate, excluding the slightly bluish white and gray hues. But this is fixable by selecting the warm color temperature. The Original Color option corresponds to sRGB and offers very accurate rendering, including the white and gray colors. On the advanced settings, P3 and sRGB offer good accuracy, but they both exhibit the blue tint over the white and gray colors. The Original Color from advanced settings has the same perfect accuracy towards sRGB targets as the Original Color from the standard display settings. Resolution: the 13 Pro lets you choose whether the phone should render in its native 1440p resolution or a lower 1080p. The presumption being that the lower res setting would be less taxing on the battery. When you're in 1440p mode, there's also a toggle that allows the phone to automatically switch down to 1080p when it decides it's appropriate. Display enhancements. The Xiaomi 13 Pro offers 3 AI image engine features, all disabled by default. The first one is Super Resolution. This feature tries to upscale the resolution of local videos. It could increase battery consumption and may not yield much improvement. The second feature is called AI Image Enhancement and works only within the Gallery app. It automatically scans and identifies objects across your photos and applies some predefined contrast color filter settings when you are viewing said photos. Finally, the AI HDR enhancement uses some sort of processing across SDR content to bring more detail to both lighter and darker areas. HDR and streaming. The Xiaomi 13 Pro comes with Widevine L1 DRM support, and full HD streaming with HDR10 and Dolby Vision support is available across popular platforms, Netflix included. Vapor chamber cooling technology. The vapor chamber is a planar heat pipe which can spread heat in 2 dimensions using its entire body to cool the heat source. Its flat structure allows heat to be transferred evenly through a very small space. You can imagine a vapor chamber as a flat heat pipe in such a sense. Sensors. Many advanced sensors are provided in this phone. I will explain one by one. Many of these sensors are used in ordinary phones. Here I am explaining each sensor very detail to understand function and use of each sensor. Fingerprint. Speaking of security, the fingerprint reader is fast and reliable. We had no issues even when outside on a bright sunny day. There's extended functionality for the fingerprint reader, allowing you to open up an app or initiate action as soon as you unlock the device. Just keep your finger on the scanner when it unlocks heart rate. There is also an experimental feature that lets you use the fingerprint reader to measure heart rate. It is a bit wonky, but still an interesting little addition. Proximity sensor. The proximity sensor detects when a user is holding the phone near their face during a call and turns off the display to prevent keypad presses and battery consumption from the display. The proximity light sensor is located to the right of the earpiece. Ambient light sensor. An ambient light sensor is a component in smartphones. It is a photodetector that is used to sense the amount of ambient light present and appropriately dim the device's screen to match it. Accelerometer. The accelerometer is an inbuilt comment of a smartphone to measure its acceleration. It tracks the different motion like shaking, tilting, swinging, and rotating, and accordingly change the orientation of your app. To calculate and detect the motion, the accelerometer uses the value of XYZ, gyroscope. A gyroscope measures the orientation of the device. It can sense motion, including vertical and horizontal rotation. There are a lot of practical uses of gyroscope, especially in mobile games. Consider a game for an instant. In games, we are required to move in all directions, which also involves rotation around gravity. Electronic compass. The digital compass that's usually based on a sensor called the magnetometer and provides mobile phones with a simple orientation in relation to the Earth's magnetic field. As a result, your phone always knows which way is north, so it can auto-rotate your digital maps depending on your physical orientation. Hall sensor. This is a special sensor used to implement the leather cover function of a mobile phone. The Hall sensor is a magnetic field sensor made based on the Hall effect. Nowadays, many mobile phones are equipped with leather cases, and the screen can be turned off automatically when the leather cases are closed. Barometer. The barometer assists the GPS chip inside the device to get a faster lock by instantly delivering altitude data. Additionally, the barometer can be utilized to provide floors climbed information to a phone's health app. Flicker sensor. It detects the frequency of pulsed lights, fluorescent lights, LED lights, and adjusts shutter speed and ISO accordingly so you don't get banding effects in your photos or videos. IR blaster. An infrared blaster, IR blaster, is a device that relays commands from a remote control to one or more devices that require infrared remote control. For instance, it may also allow radio frequency-based RF remotes, including those using Bluetooth, to control infrared-based components. And of course, there is a My Remote app that uses the integrated IR blaster. Haptic feedback. It's just as snappy and customizable as ever. Xiaomi has paid special attention to the haptics, and we found the motor to be crisp, strong, and accurate. There's even haptic feedback intensity adjustment if you find it obtrusive or not strong enough. Android 13 with MIUI. 14 MIUI comes with its proprietary multimedia apps. There's Gallery and Music and My Video, both with local and streaming options. A MIUI file manager is also on board. The Xiaomi 13 Pro is running the company's latest MIUI 14 on top of Android 13. This new OS combo promises, among other things, major performance improvements and optimizations. This is all wrapped up in what Xiaomi calls Project Razor. The team behind MIUI 14 updated the system architecture on the Android kernel level with CPU, GPU, and memory resource scheduling, lighter system firmware size, and decreased memory usage. Let's quickly go over the new things we found in MIUI 14. Only 8 system apps cannot be uninstalled, which is a major leap from past MIUI releases. Other neat optimizations include automatic compression for apps that are not actively used and a toggle to turn off permanent notifications. These ones seem to stem from the Android 13 core rather than the MIUI shell. Privacy is also overhauled with end-to-end encryption and local on-device processing of user data. The split between a notification shade and control center is enabled by default this time, and that's probably a good thing. We found it to be quite convenient, and it's a way to educate users about MIUI's unique approach to the UI. And in case you are not a fan, you can always revert back to the standard notification shade with quick toggles in one place. The home screen, recent apps, and the general settings menu are business as usual. The app drawer is also enabled by default, and we like that Xiaomi has placed the search bar at the bottom of the screen for easier reach. There are custom and preset app categories for faster navigation. Unlike the standard recent apps menu, the MIUI task switcher lists the apps vertically and provides several useful shortcuts. That's where you can open up apps in floating windows. However, you can have only one floating app open at a time. In case you want a faster shortcut to apps that support free-form windows, just enable the sidebar. Notably, the sidebar is different depending on the scenario. In games, the sidebar provides a couple of gaming-related features, while in video apps, the sidebar becomes a video toolbox. It lets you launch video apps in pop-up windows, screenshot, record screen, cast, and play video with the screen off, including on YouTube without a premium subscription. The only caveat is that the apps where you want the feature enabled need to be whitelisted in advance. Customization is, as always, a big part of MyUI. The system lets you choose the style of the always-on display or the theme of the UI. Aside from the ones pre-installed on the device, there's a themes store that gives you a wide selection. The themes themselves change not only the general appearance, but also the ringtones and system icons. Moving on to privacy and security, MyUI comes with a pre-installed system security app. Aside from the additional malware protection layer it provides, the app holds many of the app settings and privacy features in one place. It can manage your blacklist, manage or restrict your data usage, configure battery behavior, and free up some RAM. It can also manage the permissions of your installed apps, define the battery behavior of selected apps, and apply restrictions only to certain apps. MyUI 14 offers memory extension option that's active by default. You can disable it if you like. Hope you liked this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Your one like and subscribe encourages us. If you keep us going, we will get inspiration to make new videos. Jai Hind, Namaste, see you soon with some new unique videos. Video recording and editing by my lovely daughter, Dr. Mansi Ambal Wade, MBBS.